guys, how are you today? Today's a beautiful day, you guys. Oh my god, let me show you my nails. I did them myself. I got in a nail kit and got into the art of doing nails, and it's super fun. Anyways, let's get off that subject because it's really irrelevant. So one thing I wanted to talk today about is, I was talking to a friend of mine that I've known since I was like 12 years old, right? And I've always had anxiety. I've always had nervous thoughts and stuff like that. Now, of course, at the time at 12 years old, I was in an abusive household. So, I had a lot of struggle trying to be perfect so I wouldn't get yelled at or grounded or touched, and I had to process those emotions the way that a 12 years old would have to process emotions. And now that I'm older, I'm growing, I'm getting out of my anxiety, I'm getting out of some of my hurt, some of my depression, some of my anger, but it's not a perfect process. It takes time. It takes healing. It's not. The thing that irritates me the most too is like people that I talked to someone that I knew and I was like, yeah, I'm growing, I'm healing, I'm doing better. Like I feel good, like I'm out of that negative space. And like, took you a long time, took you long enough. Oh, you should have been better a long time ago. Like it shouldn't have just happened just now. And, in my mind, I feel like people really lack empathy towards other people. Just because you think that someone should have healed by a certain time, you have not lived in that person's shoes to understand that person's life and to understand how that person should have healed. Some people are going to take longer than others to heal. And especially when you grow up in such a wonderful environment where you're not abused or, neglected, then of course, you're not going to have the same mentality as someone who did. So it kind of annoys me a little bit for people to think that you should grow. My personal opinion, I spiritually developed when I could. When it was the best time for me. You know how they say that God has a timing for everything? Yeah, maybe it had to happen around this time. Maybe it couldn't have happened earlier. Maybe I was still going through shit at those times, I can say that this is the year, maybe like this past 2 years, the first 2 years in my life that I can actually feel like a normal human being without the depression and anxiety taking over my life. And don't get me wrong, some days are better than others. It is not completely gone. You're constantly growing, you're constantly healing. And so it just kind of frustrates me that people just really lack empathy on really trying to understand other people's perspectives. And maybe because I went through so much, I can understand others' perspectives a little bit more. But it's kind of like naive to think that someone should heal when you think that they should heal when you have not been on the path of their life with them. Yeah, that kind of irritates me a lot. Especially for like, oh, get over it. Oh, it was in the past. Oh, you should have healed a long time ago. I feel like you really lack empathy, and I really feel like us human beings should have more empathy towards other people and understand like, hey, my life is not like that person's life. And I told that person like, hey, it takes time. You know what I mean? Like it took me time. I'm sorry that it didn't happen 10 years ago, but it took me time. I was still experiencing and still going through lots of negative relationships and stuff. So it just kept on piling on and piling on and piling on. I ended up having trauma brain. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you guys, be kind to everybody everywhere. And if you don't understand someone's struggle or situation, do not compare yourself. You are not in the same life. You did not walk the same walk, and you have not been in the same situations. So just, approach people with a little bit of kindness, please. In fact, one thing that I can say strongly about the situation is there are some people who never grow. There are some people who never have self-reflection. There are some people who never do the hard work. There are some people who think that they're completely perfect and they're really not. So, with that being said, understand that if someone's growing, that's a beautiful thing. It's always a beautiful thing. Everyone does not grow, not in this lifetime. Everyone does not see life for what it truly is and see the beauty of what life truly can be. And everyone doesn't heal. There are some people who are 80 years old, 90 years old who still have trauma brain. And there are some people who who die with trauma brain and never get healed, never grow, never change. So please be kind to people's healing as long as they're trying to heal. If they're not trying to heal, then yeah, you need to let them know. Look, you need to be trying to heal, okay? You need to be, let's try to fix this. But if they're trying to take those steps, that's all that matters at the end of the day.